Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Suzan Pickett. I'm happy to join today and have this great conversation with Chad Dunn. Just to do a quick introduction, I'm the director of our product acceleration, capacity planning, and also get to act as our internal CTO for internal Dell digital infrastructure. Chad, do you want to do a quick intro?
Hey folks, my name is Chad Dunn. I'm sure I've met a lot of you before. It's really great to see you again. I hope to be together with you soon. But if you don't know me, I lead product management for our converged infrastructure, hyper-converged infrastructure, and software-defined storage here at Dell. And happy to join Suzan Pickett today because I really want to talk about some of the special things that they're doing with Dell Digital. And that's sort of our internal cloud, if you will. And Suzan plays a big role in that, and so does Dell Technologies. So, Suzan, can you tell us a little bit about what Dell Digital does for its users, how you've built it? Really, just bring us up to speed.
Yeah, you bet. We love talking about this. We think it's a great story, and it's certainly something that's occurred over time. It's really been a journey. Really, what it's all about is improving the experience of our internal customers. We want to make sure that they are able to consume our services when they want to, so on demand, and then build the services that are more desirable for them as time goes on, so we can keep improve, iterating, and just get faster and faster at delivering any service that someone wants. That could be as simple as something like a VM as a service, could be Windows, Linux, could be a container, function as a service, as we're getting more into functionless or serverless, sorry, not functionless. Keeping it real today, keeping it real, everyone. So as we get into serverless, really what we're doing is we're creating a very robust service catalog. And we've essentially created this graphical interface where people can go in, see what's going on with the environment, get notifications, provide feedback, request features. We've not only created the portal around if you want to compute or storage or database or backups as a service, but also data science as a service, and any feature that really gets requested that reaches some critical mass where it makes sense for us to add it into that portal.
Yeah, it's funny. It wasn't that many years ago when we would have databases for different sorts of reporting of popular configs or financials that we might be interested in the business unit. And then when you ask, where's the data kept, where's that server? It's literally a tower server under somebody's desk. Not just a few years ago. I'm talking, maybe 10 years ago.
I remember those days. Yeah.
It's a whole new world, and I think what impresses me about it is I can go to that catalog, and as you say, whether it's a VM, whether it's a SharePoint instance, whether it is a database of some sort, whether it's Tableau, which we're big users of in my team, it's really right there at our fingertips, and we can have it instantly, right? Really no red tape to go through, easy to do. So if it's that easy for us to use, I'm guessing it was wicked hard for you guys to put it together on the back end. So what can you tell us about how Dell Digital is built?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's been a journey. It started really mid or kind of late 2019. We're just coming up on about 2 years of iterating within this environment. And like most enterprise environments, we wanted to build a modern platform on modern infrastructure. That was really key. So we wanted to have more of a software-defined experience. We wanted to create kind of an automation and orchestration so that we could build upon it, have those strong standards, programmatically make sure that we were following a lot of what we needed to do, management, reporting, even operations, making day two operations even easier, which by the way, we've built into our portal as well. So our end users, our internal customers can not only self-service a VM, but they can go in on day two and manage it. And we're doing all of that through a lot of the built-in technologies on top of, you'll love to hear this, the product teams that you are able to manage. So it's this kind of give and get a little bit between our teams. you've enabled us to help build this incredible modern self-service portal on top of a modern platform. So we get the scalability and we get the flexibility, whether that's the software-defined compute or storage or the management automation that we're building into those key features.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm the one interviewing you in this piece. What are the components?
Spoiler alert.
My beloved portfolio are you using? I'm sure there are many in other portfolios, but what's sort of the basis for what you're doing?
Yeah, so again, no spoiler alert here. We started building this platform on VxRail, specifically vSAN ready nodes. As we have iterated over the last year and a half, we have been looking at, of course, not only our vSAN ready nodes, but our VxFlex, and now moving into PowerFlex as kind of more of our standard, if you will, on our roadmap moving forward. So primarily, this is all built on hyper-converged infrastructure. Again, really going for that performance, that flexibility, and that scalability, and moving away from more of that monolithic approach to infrastructure.
Okay, so if you're doing VxRail, likely you're putting a lot of general purpose workload there. You like the idea of scale out, grow as you need to, really easily. Very good APIs, really automatable, if that's a word.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're using PowerFlex, that's really speaking to probably some pretty specific needs that are around scale out, and I'm gonna guess performance related.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really kind of wanted, if you will, a standard to rule them all, because the stronger our standards, the more we can automate around that. And so our expectations are really around the highest performance, the highest scalability. And again, I hate to be repetitive, but really flexibility. So we wanted to not only build that on premises, but be able to extend that into our multi-cloud partners as well. And so really what that's given us is, we can almost just not even worry about the underlying hardware, because we know we have the resources underneath to accomplish what we're looking for. And then just looking at the really large scale of what we built. And in fact, if you guys are okay with it, I'll put a slide up just to give everyone an idea of the environment that we're working with. Is that an okay moment to do that? Yeah, so give me a sec. Again, in the keeping it real column, I'll be sharing some stuff here. So give me a sec to bring up these slides. You can see behind the scenes just a little bit, and kind of get to a little bit about just the size and scale of our Dell digital infrastructure. This is the stuff that runs Dell, and it's large. So when we talk about scale and we talk about enabling our customers, we're really talking about just getting out of everyone's way and enabling a lot more progress toward more automation, more self-service. And then this is just a quick look at really what our internal Dell Digital Cloud Portal, our internal portal looks like in terms of where we've deployed it and what we're deploying it on. So just wanted to pop that up really quick and give everyone a quick look at that. But I won't distract everyone with PowerPoint on this call, because I know we have some other things to talk about.
Well, look, I see you've got Tanzu, you've got
Yeah.
TKG deployed, likely on rail.
Yep.
That's been an amazing workload for us. Oh, here we go. Yeah,
I thought this while you're talking, Chad, I thought I'd throw this slide.
Yeah, so I can see on one side we've got what appears to be the pivotal ready architecture for VxRail. That was wildly successful for us. We did that while Pivotal was still independent. So we were running Cloud Foundry, their application services, Bosch, all the things that made Pivotal, and just wildly successful in the market in really, really large accounts. The U.S. Air Force uses it to route tankers. The McDonald's uses it for their app in their phone app in China. There's all sorts of crazy applications, and that momentum has continued into the Tanzu architecture for VxRail, and we continue to expand the integration we do with Tanzu and the packaging that we do with Tanzu, because we we recognize that it's not just a VM world, it is a VM and a container world, and more applications are going to land in that cloud native space. So, yeah, really good to see you guys embracing the cloud native methodology.
Yeah, absolutely. And the great news is, in the last year and a half, with all the features that we've added into our portal and what we've built, the teams have been able now to onboard about 55% of our internal customers and applications. And we
Mm,
also have this really big goal, this bold goal, if you will, to onboard 100%, get them into this modern infrastructure.
yeah.
Again, leveraging self-service, leveraging the marketplace, leveraging our API marketplace if that's where they want to go.
Mhm.
So they can actually pull the code, check out the code and use it in their own development world as well. So this has just been, if I if I could have gone out and bought this as a customer a couple of years ago, I would have just been saying, where do I sign? And this is really about us, not necessarily saying, this is what you need to build, but we can show you what we've done and the methodology behind it. We can, happy to reach out and talk to anybody in terms of, hey, we've built this thing, we're using it, we're living it day to day, and this is what it's accomplishing for us. The sheer outcome or the output that we're able now to derive just from a sheer numbers perspective is amazing.
You talked about your cloud partners, and so far we've talked about a lot of things that are on premises. What is your cloud partnering strategy for Dell Digital?
Yeah, so it's pretty much the big players in the group, everyone you would expect. You mentioned McDonald's up in China, and we actually run within Azure in China, because of some other considerations. But what we're really looking at doing is, especially through our internal self-service portal, is we want to enable, if there is a service, a microservice, or something that's out there in a public cloud provider, could be AWS, Azure, Google, we want to make sure that we're again enabling our developers and our business partners to go out and get the service that they're looking for. Now, the
Yeah.
really cool thing is, we also have teams working with our developers and business partners on that and saying, hey, if we're seeing the benefit of that, and we're seeing a lot of provisioning go toward that, maybe it makes sense for us to add that feature into our self-service portal. And now you can have the choice between running it in a public cloud or in our own private cloud system.
That's really smart, and for a couple of reasons. So one, we found with these DevOps types, they they're going to find a Kubernetes dial tone somewhere. If you're not providing it, they will get it. Right?
Yes.
And they may get it in a place that you don't want them to get it, that may be unsecured, that may not be in compliance with whatever vertical you happen to be in. So you've given them the ability to, within the capabilities that we have and that we sanction, to go ahead and go out and use those public cloud services, whether it's a database, a particular database that they want from Amazon, or a particular function that they want out of Google. They're going to be able to leverage that. I think that's amazing. And I can tell you from an equipment perspective, as we go to market and work with our customers with VxRail, the level of influence that the developer teams within our customers have over purchasing decisions is only getting better and better, and deeper and deeper, and more strong. I mean, I can remember, back in the day, selling infrastructure, the worst thing you could have is a DBA saying, I'm not comfortable with that. The deal's over. But now you've got, these, very sophisticated DevOps people that are looking to see, is it flexible enough? Can I be creative? It's all about creativity, because there's so many tools, so many pieces of code that they can use to get to a solution, that they're looking for those degrees of flexibility, and they sort of want you to be invisible in that whole equation, and which is fine.
Yeah, and we're striving for that as well. It used to be in IT, if they didn't know your name, that was perfect.
Yeah.
In the last few years, we've changed that, where we're putting our infrastructure as code and infrastructure as a service and platform and containers as a service, putting them more out there, and we're marketing that. But really, what we've done by creating this modern platform, again, on modern infrastructure, is that we're not having those conversations anymore about, hey, I need a specific server with specific processors and specific size of RAM. It's really all just available through our front end portal or the APIs, if you will, if that's what's desired. And because it's highly performant, because it's reliable, and because it's scalable, and because we offer, again, those features that are highly on demand, like day two operations, like, oh, hey, I requested 64 gig of RAM, but I need 128.
Yeah.
You can still do that within this portal. And we have that flexibility on the back end to ensure that that happens. So it's almost kind of come back around where you don't have to engage with us or even open a service desk ticket where your request sits in a queue and waits. You can go get this when you want it and when you need it.
Amazing, amazing. So it sounds like user satisfaction or customer satisfaction seems to be good.
Yeah, well, we hope so. I mean, for sure, one big example of that, and I've told this story a couple times, is, well, we built this beautiful graphical user interface, right? We had designers on it and our product designers on it, and and it's pretty nice. Like I would love to go use it. We can add services into a card and then check those out, and we can track the cost centers and all of that stuff. But really, what our developers wanted and what was going to help them and improve their experience was creating that API marketplace. So just by exposing that and creating that ability, our internal customer satisfaction went way up. But really what it's come down to is everybody wants the services on demand. And like you mentioned earlier, if we make it easy for people to do business with us as IT and we remove that as a barrier, then they're going to do business with us. And what better place to do that than here?
Well, look, I told you it's that influence that the DevOps teams have over purchasing decisions and what they want to use. I would be perfectly happy with the UI, but also be perfectly happy with APIs. But then the only difference between them and me is I don't have any skinny jeans. I don't have a man bun. I can still code a little.
You could though in virtual reality. I think I've seen it. I know there's been some recent announcements around the launch within the HCI space. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a ton of news. Let's see where to start. Well, let's start with the VxRail hyperconverged system software. So a lot of new enhancements there. So one is expanding the LCM capabilities. We can now LCM in context with Tanzu, which obviously is going to be very important to you as a Tanzu on VxRail user, and also NSXT. And I would venture to guess if you're using Tanzu, you're probably using NSXT. So I think those are two goodies that you're going to make good use of. Additionally, we're seeing a lot more attach of NVIDIA GPUs to VxRail. Now, VDI has always been an important use case for us, but more and more we're seeing the AI and ML optimized GPUs being attached. And I think we're only going to see more of that as NVIDIA and others make GPU workloads more accessible to developers. So for that reason, we've added the ability to lifecycle manage the NVIDIA GPU and its drivers. And I think that's going to be very useful for our customers as we see that attach rate go up further and further. We're giving customers more flexibility on their upgrades. We're able to allow customers to choose the nodes in a cluster they want to upgrade. They can upgrade as many or as few as they want. They can wait until the next maintenance window, complete those upgrades. So it's all about flexibility, fitting within their maintenance windows. By the way, all this stuff is also API driven. We are maniacally focused on API parity, if not API first, in anything that we do in Rail. Self-install is coming this summer as well. So really focus on some of those customers who have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sites of some number of Rails in them. And when it comes time to deploy those, maybe they don't want to have our professional services show up 4,000 times to do the same thing. I think most of our customers would think they would probably get the hang of it after the first 1,000 or so. So what we've done to make that easy, not only changes to the product and the documentation, the videos, and the support path, but we've actually given them a portal. So as soon as you've ordered your VX Rails and you get a sales number, you can take that plus your site ID that you want to configure. You're going to see all the VX Rails that are going to show up at that site. You can do the full configuration of the VX Rails with IP addresses, net masks, time servers, Active Directory, NIC assignments. Everything can be pre-done. So when the nodes show up there, you simply get them in a rack, get them cabled up, powered up, and you've got your config file ready to launch the whole cluster. And that can be accessed via API as well. So you need not even send somebody out to even plug the USB stick into. And so that really gets to the time to value that we believe we're bringing to customers. Now, obviously, with the launch of 15G just a little while ago, VX Rail is following suit. So the VX Rail fleet is being refreshed to 15G. What does that get us? Well, kind of like any other hardware refresh, better, faster, stronger, cooler. In this generation, we get up to 166% more memory. We get 36% more cores. We get 4x bandwidth on the PCIe lanes as we move to PCIe Gen 4. All these things sort of add up to give us a broader set of use cases that we can service with the same set of hardware, right? So each platform that we have simply became a lot more flexible, a lot more powerful, and add to that 2 additional NVIDIA GPUs that we're adding to the platform, specifically around AI and ML. I think it's a really compelling package.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know everyone probably wants to hear more, and I know I want to hear more. My teams are diving into AI and ML. We're doing a lot of data modeling, so that would be great to actually understand that. And then also that configuration site, that could really help us with a lot of our speed to market and our speed to provision. So really excited about the whole launch, but super excited on a personal level about that as well.
I think you've got a lot of goodies. You've also got this thing called the dynamic node coming, which you might not know about. And we looked at a challenge where customers may have capacity that's stranded in a vSAN cluster, and they want to consume that with compute nodes. Well, we have these dynamic nodes that are able to do just that, right? So they're effectively VX Rails that get their storage from another vSAN cluster using VMware's HCI mesh. Interesting use case, but we didn't stop there. We also can attach those dynamic nodes to external storage, like, for instance, Dell PowerStore or PowerMax, or really any of our arrays. And so this does a lot of things for us. One, it can make customers more efficient by using that stranded vSAN capacity. Number 2, we finally have an answer to the age-old question of, if I go hyperconverged, can I scale my compute and my storage separately? The answer is now yes. And then finally, I have a workload that absolutely must run on this array because of the data services or snapshots, or because that's the way we've always done it and that's the way we're always going to do it. All valid reasons. So now we can attach these to those existing arrays, fiber channel vVols or other connectivity methods. And you still get that same VX Rail automated setup, lifecycle management experience, serviceability experience. We just happen to be attaching to an external array instead of using vSAN, but it still participates in the rest of your vSAN estate. So we just think that this expands the use cases for VX Rail for our customers, absolutely massively, especially when there's a requirement for an external array.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the flexibility there is going to be key. And, again, I can't wait to learn more. So I'm happy to be a customer as well. So thanks again for that.
Well, no, thank you for being a customer, and thanks to everybody for listening to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, everyone, I know we're at time. Just wanted to throw out there, if you want to learn more, please check us out. You can find us at our Again, keeping it real, convergedusergroup.com, or you can find us on Twitter. You can find us at Converged Users, and we're a pretty active group, and we would love to hear from you. So thanks.